All right, let's dive in. We're about to step into this kind of smoky, alternate reality of 1920s Vienna. We're here to uncover the manifesto of a genre that, well, it never actually existed, but man, it feels like it should have. We're talking about a sound born from the anxiety of a collapsing empire, a sound they called jazzpunk.
This is the very first line from the Jazzpunk manifesto. And you gotta understand, this isn't a suggestion, it's a diagnosis. It tells you everything you need to know. This movement, it isn't here to build anything new. No, it's here to perform an autopsy on the old world, and its tools, a saxophone and a scream.
So what is this thing? Well, at its heart, jazzpunk is a mashup. It's the brainy, complex skill of jazz getting completely hijacked by the raw, screw-you energy of punk. I mean, just picture a fancy music school being set on fire by its own professors. That is the sound we're talking about.
Right, so this fire, it actually has a point. The whole idea here, the ethos, it's not just making random noise. They call it virtuosic vandalism. Think about that. It's about tearing music apart on purpose, and it's being done by people who are masters at putting it together.
Okay, so the manifesto basically boils down to these four rules, these four tenets. First up, you have to know the rules. You have to be a master, but only so you can break them with precision. Second, intellectual anarchy. It's this awesome mix of really smart, complex ideas and just raw, wild energy. The third one is great. The anachronism is deliberate. Basically, it means anything goes. Any sound, any instrument from any time period. If it serves the chaos, you use it. And then the final nail in the coffin of tradition. No gods, no masters, no key signatures. Total freedom.
This quote it nails the whole philosophy, doesn't it? This isn't just about smashing things for the fun of it. It's about taking a symbol of knowledge, of high culture, a library book, and using it as a weapon. It's thought and violence becoming the exact same thing.
So a movement this intense, it can't just be an idea, right? It needs a face, it needs a voice. And for jazzpunk, that face is the Larmfrau, which literally means noise woman. She's the icon, the archetype of this whole rebellion. And that specific face, it belongs to a woman named Amara Klang. Now, you can think of her as the dark twin of the 1920s New Woman. She's not interested in polite society. She's all about noise and rage. You wouldn't find her in some grand concert hall. No, she's performing in these secret underground noise cellars, and she's basically channeling all the city's fear and anxiety through this really confrontational style of speak singing. The powers that be, they're so scared of her, they actually made up a name for her music, Asphalt Cacophony.
Okay, so asphalt cacophony, that sounds intense. But what did it actually sound like? Let's look at the blueprint for this total musical collapse.
Okay, check this out. This chart is so cool because it basically shows you the musical war happening inside every song. Take the rhythm, for example. You've got that relentless punk D beat, right? But then the drummer is slipping in these super complicated jazz ghost notes. The result? Something they call blast swing. And the harmony? Forget simple power chords. We're talking about twisted, ugly jazz chords played with all the fury and distortion of punk rock. And then, flying over all that chaos, a screaming, totally atonal free jazz sax solo. It's just a beautiful, terrifying collision of sounds. And the way they structure the songs is all about hitting you hard and fast. It's a planned attack, really. You get a fast, driving verse, then a really dissonant chorus. But then comes the key part, the chaos break. This is where the whole song just falls apart into this free jazz nightmare before it slams right back into the main riff for a super sudden violent ending. And yeah, all of that happens fast. We're talking an average song length of 2.5 minutes. This is a huge middle finger to those long, indulgent, sprawling songs. The philosophy is simple. Get in, scream your manifesto, and get the hell out. All right, let's talk about the words. Because in jazzpunk, lyrics aren't just for telling a story. No way. They are weapons. They're tools for psychological warfare. The manifesto points to 3 main lyrical themes. They call them scalpels, which is perfect, right? Because they're used to just carve away at polite society. And those scalpels are urban and cosmic horror, psychological warfare, and a brand new, way more aggressive kind of feminism. So first up, urban and cosmic horror. Jazzpunk literally turns the city of Vienna into the monster of the story. The lyrics mix local legends and ghost stories with this deep, Lovecraftian sense of cosmic dread. The idea is that there's something ancient, something awful, lurking just under the streets you walk on every day. And this lyric from one of their songs just captures that feeling perfectly. It's not just some simple ghost story. It's about realizing that reality itself is broken, that the cosmos has gone wrong, and then declaring that you're the weapon that's going to do something about it.
Okay, next, the lyrics look inward. They call this pillar Freud's last nightmare. So you know how psychoanalysis was this huge new thing in Vienna back then? Well, Jazzpunk takes those ideas and twists them into pure horror. Your id isn't just some basic human drive anymore. In these songs, it's an alien parasite that's living inside your head, just feeding on your secrets.
And get a load of this line. It is just bone-chilling. The idea that by naming the monster inside you, by diagnosing it, you've only made it more powerful. It's like the talking cure has suddenly started screaming right back at you.
And the final lyrical pillar is a new kind of feminism. And this isn't a feminism that asks politely. It's a declaration. It's not about hoping for liberation. It's about the violent, final act of just taking it. It is the sound of a puppet cutting its own strings.
This lyric just lays that idea bare. It's so clear. The voice in the song is that puppet, grabbing control, refusing to ask for permission, and deciding, nope, I'm cutting the wire myself. It's an anthem for absolute take-no-prisoners autonomy.
So, when you boil it all down, jazzpunk is really just an answer to one massive question. Think about it. When your world is reeling from war, when empires are crumbling, when everything you thought was true is just dissolving, what does that chaos actually sound like? Well, jazzpunk's answer is, it sounds like this.
And the manifesto leaves us with this powerful, kind of haunting final thought. Jazzpunk sees itself as the sound of the void. It's the scream that fills that terrifying gap between a world that's already dead and a new one that hasn't been born yet. It's the sound of the in-between, and it is demanding that you listen.